Alrighty guys, this is the Arrows Hobby BAE Hawk 50mm EDF that I scooped up from the Central Penn swap meet in Lebanon, PA. And this thing's brand new in the box, so I can give you guys an idea of what you can expect if you pick one of these things up for yourself.
Now here you can cue some of that music from whatever that TV show is. Do 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 do.
I will say this much, guys. Arrows RC did an incredible job with the paint and the way this aircraft looks. For a little 50mm EDF, this thing looks incredible. And this thing is only a 3-channel airplane, so you do not have the use of a rudder. You only have ailerons and elevators. So this is what would be called a bank and yank. The 4th channel on your receiver is going to be used for the gyro function. And now through the magic of editing, we have all of our parts on the flattened out top of the box because we are going to be using some glue to glue on this horizontal stabilizer after glancing through this manual briefly. I will say, for those advanced hobbyists of you out there, you're really not going to need to read this manual because this is a very straightforward aircraft. You screw the wing on, you glue the tail on, you connect all the linkages, and you're rocking and rolling. So I'm just going to throw this off to the side. The one thing that is going to be finicky is if you are using a 4-channel receiver like me. My friend Jay did show me a quirk that you have to work out, not really work out, but I'll show you on the Spectrum transmitter later on in the video what you have to do so is that your rudder channel is your gear channel on the receiver section of your transmitter, because if you leave it as the rudder, as soon as you go to hit the rudder, because there's no rudder, you're going to activate the gyro, and this thing's going to go all kitty-wampus on you.
And we're going to speed through this because all I'm doing is screwing the wing on.
I will say, I thought this was going to be a screwdriver-only build. Definitely have a pair of needle-nose pliers on hand just to snake through the servo connectors out of the back of this thing, because I got chubby-ass fingers. I don't know about you guys, but my fingers definitely don't fit in there.
And a couple of more screws, but then we're good.
I would also say, guys, definitely grab a zip tie, because from the factory, all these wires were shoved back on top of this elevator servo, and I don't think anything would interfere with that, but the last thing you want is to have something catch and you have no elevator. So I'm going to wind up zip tying everything over here off to the side, just so this elevator servo has free movement. At this point in the build, the horizontal stabilizer has to be glued on. Now the manual calls for foam safe CA. I'm not really a big fan of foam safe CA. I haven't had very good experience with it in the past. However, I do have some foam tack laying around, so I'm going to use a good amount of foam tack on this surface and this surface here to make sure this is all locked in there, and I'm going to let it sit for a good while so this stuff sets properly. Then I'm going to hook up all the servo connections, and this thing's rocking and rolling. Quick little assembly.
And now we're going to use some foam tack, so I'm just going to put some glue on here and then go to go.
And just like that, guys, the Arrows BAE Hawk is fully assembled and ready to fly. All I got to do is hook up the elevator linkages, get this thing programmed to my radio, and you're ready to go. You could have this thing ready to fly half hour, maybe, after you get it out of the box. As long as you got a battery charged, this is a very quick airplane. Very good-looking airplane, too. 10 out of 10 would recommend on Yelp.
Now, this is just for those of you guys who may not be aware how to do this. What you're going to do is you're going to change your RX port assignment from rudder to gear. And if you swipe over to the second screen on your main screen, you can see how that channel is being activated. Now, to get this function done on a Spectrum transmitter, you're going to scroll down to System Setup. Once you're there, you're going to go to Channel Assign. And once you're in the Channel Assign window, you're going to scroll all the way down to Next. And then once you go down to Next, you're going to be at the RX port assignment page. You're going to scroll down to number 4, which is by default rudder. You're going to click on that, scroll through, get gear selected there. Once you have gear selected there to the gear switch, you are rocking and rolling. As always, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have some happy landings.